So at this year's Game Awards show, Tripwire Interactive showed off a new gameplay trailer for the Maneater game. And in that trailer, they actually reveal a few new things that we haven't seen before. In addition, they also shared the release date for Maneater and also shared with us other platforms it's coming to. Hey guys, this is Chris of B&B Gaming. Welcome back, and I hope you're doing awesome today. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video, and thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. Definitely appreciate it. So to start with, I'm just going to show the Maneater gameplay trailer at full speed, and after we'll slow it down and I'll show you a couple things you may have missed.
Humans kill 100 million sharks every year. But only 5 humans are killed by sharks. It's time to even the score. Eat. Explore. Evolve.
Not everybody made to be a fisherman.
It's shark versus man. Maneater.
So to start with, guys, we have the 100 million sharks are killed by humans every year, and you're probably wondering, is that actually real? It's kind of based on some weird study they did in the 2000s, so it's kind of ambiguous, but I think they're making the point that 100 million sharks are killed by humans, and sharks only kill 5 humans a year, so their tagline here is it's time to even the score. So I think the idea is just setting it up to, you know, let's get some payback as a shark or something. Now next, we actually get the first look at the player shark, and if you notice the gnarly scar by our eye, there's a reason why the player shark is scarred. Evidently, Scaly Pete, who is the bad guy in this game, has a vendetta against all sharks, and in the beginning of the game, he captures the player shark's mother, and they basically say he tears out the player shark out of the mother shark as he kills it or something, and throws it into the water, and that's us, and that's why we're so scarred up. So this begins our quest as a player shark for revenge against Scaly Pete, and also to climb the ladder to become the ultimate apex predator. So next we see the player shark doing a tail whip attack. Now this part, we actually see the shark chomping on a dude, and I don't know if they meant it to look like this, but the dude looks like he's still swimming. It's kind of interesting. In this next part, we see the shark swimming from the bottom and ramming through this fishing boat. And what caught my eye was this fisherman flying through the air. He still hasn't landed. Now this part is interesting because you see this kind of looks like SeaWorld or something. Now I'm not sure if this is signifying we're going to go into some kind of aquarium or something, or if they're just trying to show us we're going to be going into a different region. In this next scene, we see the shark swimming through swampland. And again, we see the scarred up player shark's face. It kind of reminds me of Clint Eastwood. I don't know if they're going for that or not, but it looks cool to me. Here we see the shark feeding again, but what I notice is that there's some major pronounced Z time here, or slowdown like in Max Payne. I think what's interesting here is this triggered just when you jump out of the water? Or is this something you can buy evolutions to enhance? Should be interesting to find out. In the next part, they talk about the 3 pillars of the game. They start out with eat. So in Maneater, you're actually going to grow slightly every time you eat something. And there's actually 4 different elements that you're going to get from different things. You're going to get fats, proteins, minerals, and a rare element called mutagen X. In the next couple of scenes, we see the shark feeding above water. We see the shark feeding beneath the water. Here we see the shark picking off someone off a boat, and they've actually talked about in other interviews that we can actually buy evolutions that are going to make us more stealthy. So maybe that's what they're showing off here, that we can just kind of slink along and pew, pick somebody off. And here we actually see the shark eating a turtle. And they have said there's going to be different types of wildlife that we're going to be chomping on that are going to provide different nutrients for the shark. Now with Explore, first they show breaking through boards for an entrance. So are there going to be different obstacles that we have to look for to break? Or is this just showing entering the sewer? Should be interesting to find out. In the next part, they show the shark swimming through different tunnels. And at PAX West, they actually talked about possibly having different stealth missions in the game. Now as far as exploring in Maneater, the game itself is going to encourage us to do this because from what I understand, this is where we're going to get the bulk of Mutagen X, which we're going to need in order to purchase evolutions. Now as far as evolutions go, they've said that we're going to actually get special evolutions by defeating the 7 Kings of the Sea, which are the apex predators in each one of the 7 regions. In addition, I do believe they said we can find evolutions from different nutrient caches, so by exploring. In this first part, I believe they're trying to show off the shark growing, getting bigger, and they said in an interview there's actually going to be 5 different life stages. First pup, then teen, then adult, then, I don't know, big adult, then, who knows, megalodon? They haven't really said, so we'll have to wait and see. In this next scene, we actually see the bone armor evolution. Now in this scene, it doesn't look like she's actually wearing the bone armor anymore, but it actually looks like catfish. Now here we see the player shark actually corkscrewing through the air and ramming through a boat, destroying it. And I'm assuming this is an evolution, and it looks like this is the catfish antenna again. Now this next scene is kind of actually a bit weird because in a different video you actually can see this area, and it's where the local mafia buries bodies underwater. So you have the player shark eating those dead bodies. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Now this next scene is a bit weird. We have the player shark coming out of a swimming pool and attacking someone. Now at first I was thinking, what exactly does this mean? Does this mean the shark, found an entrance through the sewer and got into the guy's swimming pool? But I mean, that'd be crazy. You'd have to have this massive hole, in your swimming pool. So my guess is there's going to be swimming pools along the ocean that the shark can jump into and basically stealth attack people out of these swimming pools. Another thing that occurred to me is maybe there's actually high value targets that you have to take out in the game. Now that would be really interesting, where you'd have these elaborate missions where you would have to sneak into these different areas in order to, I don't know, hitman these people as a shark. That'd be interesting. In this next scene, I'm not sure if he's eating a duck or a bird or what, but I think they're trying to show off that there's going to be different varieties of wildlife we can munch on. In this next scene, we can actually see the shocking evolution, and I believe this is like catfish antenna or something, but we can see this in action where the player shark is actually fighting with a different shark. And as far as the evolutions go, they said we can mix and match them, so we can have bone armor on one part of the shark, we can have catfish antenna on another part of the shark, and I'm guessing they're going to stack somehow, so if you have multiple pieces of a certain evolution, you're going to get bonuses. That's how other games do it. They haven't announced that, but I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. Here we see the player shark tail whipping a torpedo back at a boat and destroying it. And they've actually talked about this as being part of the gameplay in Maneater. And I'm actually assuming this is going to be a pivotal part of Maneater, because when we take on the bigger boats, the bigger bounty hunters, I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of firepower. Now this next part is really interesting because we're on a golf course. Now again, I'm speculating that maybe there could be a reason we're here again. Maybe there's a high value target we need to take out. Now they have talked about different abilities that the shark can get where it's able to breathe air longer and stay on land longer. Now finally they announced the release date as May 22nd, 2020. Now the big surprise is that it's announced for Epic Store, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you excited about Maneater? Are you looking to pick up Maneater PS4, Maneater Xbox One, Maneater Nintendo Switch? Let me know what you think. Now for me, as primarily a console player, I'm actually thinking about picking up Maneater now. To be honest with you, what I've seen so far is interesting to me. It's kind of like, if I'd get around to it or if it was on sale, I might pick it up. But from what I've seen so far, I think this is a game I might pick up after release and see what the reviews are. Now, they might show more things that really interest me a lot more. One thing I'm a little concerned about, what type of game is this going to be? Obviously, it's going to be a action RPG. Is it going to be super easy where you just float around and just chomp on all this stuff? Or is it like Killing Floor 2 where it's actually skill-based, where your perk starts at level 5, you go to level 10, where your class is significantly more powerful, and the game itself scales to that. So as you level up in the game, you're able to play on higher difficulties because of the new skills you have. I'm curious what they're going to do with Maneater. I think one of the big traps that the gaming industry for some reason fell into, and this has been going on for like 20 years, some marketing genius, and I say that sarcastically, decided that they should put easy mode in every game. Now, that's my pet peeve because I think that's destroyed more games than anything else. Because the true joy of gaming for most people is the challenge of it, of playing a great game that scales, that rewards you for playing on higher difficulties. Now, will Maneater fall into that trap? Will they make it super easy so everyone can play it? I hope not. And from what I've seen, it looks like it could be fairly skill-based, so we'll have to wait and see.